what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds. I'm a property investor, and in this week's video, I'm going to be answering your property investment questions. So anything that you need to know or just want to know, maybe you're curious about property investment, comment below in the question box or in the comment section, and I will do my very best to answer your question to help you become more educated, or inspired, informed, and ultimately to help you in your property journey to become financially independent, meaning that you don't need to have a job because you've got a passive income, which is what property gives you. You own properties, you rent them out, that then pays for your life, and then you don't have to have a job. That is what being a property investor as a profession is. So if you want to do that, then presumably there's things you need to know about property. So comment them below and I'll do my best to help. Also, if you appreciate my channel, please do me a massive favor and hit the like button. When you hit the like button, it means more people get to see the channel, which means that more people can be educated, inspired, and also, like you, will be able to become a property investor. So hit the like button, subscribe as well, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and get commenting below. All right, let's see what we had from last week. So a guy called Kazim Shakir said, "Hi Samuel." Hi Kazim. "I'm in a privileged position to own 3 properties. 2 I own outright. I live in one of them and rent the other. And 1 I have a buy-to-let mortgage on. Your videos have definitely played a part in helping me. My question is, what do you suggest is the next step I take? I want to build up my portfolio, but I'm torn between keeping the 2 I have outright mortgage free or using the 1 I rent out to raise cash for more. Any advice would be greatly appreciated." Great stuff. Well, firstly, Kazim, I want to say congratulations on owning your 3 properties. And I don't know if you said I don't know if you're a full-time property investor or if you're still working, but my suggestion to you, and I don't know all the ins and outs of your situation and what it is that you're doing for work and what the properties you are, how much equity you've got in them, but you've got 3 properties. So my suggestion would be to start building your portfolio. So to try and find a 4th property. Now, to buy a 4th property, unless you happen to have lots of savings, then you're going to need to take some equity out of one of your existing properties, take some equity out, i.e. remortgage, maybe one of the properties that you own outright or whatever, and then use that money to buy another property. And the plan is to slowly build your property portfolio. So I think you're in a really good position, and I'd find something that's going to give you as much cash flow as possible, because I mean, again, I don't know your situation, but everybody has a financial freedom figure. So a financial freedom figure means how much money do you need to be earning every month in passive income to be financially free, to not have to worry about money anymore. If that figure's £3,000, £4,000, you need to have a portfolio of properties that gives you that amount of income. Most people worry about being debt-free. So most people worry about paying off their debts. But rather than worrying about being debt-free, debt isn't a bad thing. Because debt is money, as long as it's good debt, it's leveraged money. So instead of worrying about being debt-free, you need to think about being financially free. So I hope that helps. You're in a good position there, my friend. All right, next, Abdul Aslam. When you remortgage a property, does the lender do a credit check like they do when applying for a traditional buy-to-let mortgage? Would remortgaging affect your credit rating in a negative way? Thanks, Abdul. So if you're remortgaging, it's very, very, very similar to getting a mortgage in the first place. So yes, they are going to check your credit, and it's going to be a little bit of a process. You're going to have to fill out forms. They're going to check how much you're earning, or they're going to have to check, how the property's doing. They'll come out and they'll revalue the property, ready for the refinance. So it's very, very similar to just getting a mortgage when you buy a property at the beginning. In terms of, does it affect your credit rating in a negative way? Well, it shouldn't do, no. Getting a mortgage on a property or refinancing, it's not going to negatively affect your credit. It is going to be down on your credit, showing that you have a mortgage. But I mean, my credit rating is very, very good. It's excellent. And I have a lot of mortgages. But my suggestion would probably be to speak to a mortgage broker, and maybe because getting a mortgage is different for everybody, and it depends on the type of mortgage. But I wouldn't worry about it affecting your credit rating negatively as long as you're paying back the interest. And you're not going to pay back the interest. Your tenants are going to pay the interest, and you're going to have money left over, which will be yours for your earnings, because that's assuming that you buy the right property. Dan Sanj says, "Hi Samuel, I'm going to be made redundant next month." Sorry to hear that. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. "I'm earning enough income through my buy-to-let properties." Awesome. "So I don't plan on ever returning to employed work." Well done, Dan. That's awesome. "However, my buy-to-let mortgages are fixed rates and will all need remortgaging in 2 years' time. The properties are owned in my own name and not through a limited company. These buy-to-let mortgages were given to me based on my employment income. If I have no job, will I still be able to get a mortgage at a decent rate when it comes to remortgaging without my employment income?" So, okay, first thing I want to say as a disclaimer is I am not a mortgage advisor, okay? So I can only speak from my experience. But Dan, I don't think you'll have to remortgage in 2 years. I think you may have misunderstood. If you've got a fixed rate of 2 years, after 2 years, what will happen is usually you will just automatically go onto a variable rate. So if you've got a fixed rate of say 3% for the next 2 years, in 2 years' time, you can refinance and get a new mortgage, or you can just go onto the variable rate. And it might be 2.5 or 3.5 or 4, it depends on what interest rates are doing at that time. So I wouldn't worry about it. Also, you can get a refinance without having a job. Because if they're buy-to-let properties, as long as they're renting out nicely, a lender should be pretty comfortable lending, even if you've not got a full-time job. So I definitely wouldn't worry. Also, you've got 2 years to become a millionaire, right? So who knows where you'll be in 2 years, but check with your lender. But I think you'll find, and you can maybe comment back down and tell me if I was right, but I think you'll find that after 2 years, you don't need to refinance. They'll switch you on automatically to a variable interest rate. You're awesome, buddy. Hey, by the way, if you're listening to this and you're enjoying this video, don't forget, hit the like button. Also, put your questions in the comment box below as well. Charles Royal. "If I have £10,000 spare, how should I spend it?" First thing is, don't spend it. You shouldn't spend it. You should invest it. How should you invest it? I would probably recommend putting some of it towards a property business. Okay, 10 grand is not going to get you very far in the investment world, but it will in the property business world, i.e. put it into a rent-to-rent business, put it into a deal sourcing business. I'd put some of it into your education. I'd read books, attend seminars, and then I'd keep some of it in the bank ready for your first deal. But I don't know your situation. So what would you do with it? That's the question, but I definitely wouldn't spend it. All right, Lee Goff says, "Hi Samuel, I hope you and the family are well. Just a quick note to say, Nikhil Ruppel, the 16-year-old, my son Rocco was so inspired with watching your videos, he desperately wanted to get into property. His challenge was to own a property while he was 16. This is interesting. He set up his company, Rocco Goff Investments Limited, brought a cheap property at auction, and had a private investor fund it. So yes, you can get into property at 16. Remember, you don't know how close you are to success if you give up." Wow, what a story, and what a great dad jumping on my YouTube channel to tell the story of your son Rocco and how he's bought his first property at 16 from an auction, found a private investor to fund it. Absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. And hey, this is why I do what I do, to see people, going out doing deals. 16. Hey kids, if you're 16, if that doesn't inspire you, I don't know what does. You can do it. You just need to take action, get the education, and pull people in that will support you and believe in you. Amazing. All right, last question. Christopher Hubbard says, "When can we win a house off you?" Listen, man, you don't need to win a house off me. I literally went down the streets of London trying to give away free houses, and no one would take it because they thought it was too good to be true, and they assumed I was just joking. It's not about waiting for someone to give you a big break. It's about making a big break yourself. I don't really give people free houses. What I give is I give free education so that they can go and invest in properties using little or none of their own money. So my gift to you is education. You got to create your own break and go make your own luck. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Don't forget to comment your questions in the question box below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. God bless.